an entire innocent Black family held at gunpoint. In this instance, by police. Let's show you.
They had their guns pointed at us. Mom.
Honey, I don't know. I don't know what this is.
Why are they pointing guns at my dad?
Janae, don't cry.
What are they doing? What are they doing? What is going on right now?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, Mom.
Just leave your arms out.
What is going on?
These guys just pulled us over and we don't know why.
They have my dad over there.
Wow.
What is going on? I thought we heard an ambulance and we were trying to move out the way and then they just pull us over and tell Dad to get. What are they doing?
Honey, don't cry. Just wait.
This is so ridiculous. And it's all over. What is going on? I don't understand.
We are surrounded. The roads are blocked off. And he's taking this. Oh my God.
Before I give you the details, I want to make sure you heard it too. Why are they doing this? Why are they holding a gun at my dad? The tears. And then maybe you missed it. Probably not, but just to make sure. Did you hear the mother tell her, hold your arms out? In the midst of grief and a huge wake-up call for perhaps a minor, make sure you don't make any sudden moves. Getting out of the way of an ambulance is what the family, according to them, thought was going on here. TikToker Mrs. Robinson shared harrowing footage of a recent encounter with Fond du Lac, Wisconsin police. She said was prompted by a 911 call from a random motorist claiming her father brandished a gun at an intersection in a fit of road rage. Her father, Herbert Haywood Sr, is briefly seen outside the car being questioned by police. 12 officers had responded to the scene. From the back seat, the daughter explains that her father had pulled over to the side of the road thinking an ambulance was behind them trying to pass. Instead, they found themselves surrounded by police, including the SWAT unit. Fortunately, no one died in the Wisconsin incident, which occurred December 5th. In a video posted the following day, at Mrs. Robinson writes in the caption, just because nobody died doesn't make it less wrong. This isn't over whatsoever. In the second video, she's now alone in the car with her baby. Her mother, summoned outside the vehicle to talk, can be heard engaging in an animated conversation with officers. Why are they handcuffing my mom now? What is happening? She said, crying. I'm so scared. Officers eventually ask her to exit the vehicle. She does reluctantly, holding her baby in her arms. Police do a quick body search and escort her into the back of a squad car. Lana Blackstar filling in this harrowing incident. Second follow-up video, Mrs. Robinson's sister can be heard telling police she is there to pick up the baby. Why do you have my mom and dad in the back of your car? The sister says. What is wrong with y'all? This is why people don't trust y'all or call you for nothing. She's eventually released along with her parents. No arrests were made. Probably because they didn't do anything wrong. I'm waiting for what they did wrong here. There's an allegation. I'm waiting for more. In an update posted December 10th, Mrs. Robinson said an outside source told her a person who she alleges was tailgating the family in a pickup truck called police to report a road rage incident. He claimed the father had gotten out of his vehicle at a nearby intersection brandishing a gun, which the daughter denies. Was that swatting? I'm mad at you because you're going too slow, perhaps? I don't know. That's not yet in the reporting. I'm telling you, as someone who observes, what the heck happened here? Could that be a possibility? I don't know. Fond du Lac police confirmed through an open records request that the source was correct, that Haywood Sr. was accused of stopping his orange Kia Sorento, pulling out a handgun. After spotting the vehicle matching the description that was called to 911, police performed a high-risk stop, securing all possible avenues for a getaway. Haywood Sr. had his gun in his holster and informed police there was another gun in the vehicle. It was found in his wife's purse, which would seem to explain why she was pulled from the vehicle in question. Fond du Lac police ended the investigation once they discovered the department had a potential conflict of interest with the occupants of the vehicle, presumably the Haywoods. Case was turned over to North Fond du Lac police, which I don't know what the conflict of interest was in this case, but so you turned it over to your buddies up north. Okay, but I'm getting into the weeds. That's not part of this thing. I'm somewhat torn here, yeah. Mm-hmm. We get a call, a detailed call, it sounds like, comes into 911 talking about a road rage incident in which a man in an orange Kia Sorento is brandishing a gun. We have to be careful here. We find a orange Kia Sorento. I don't know what happened here. That's why I guessed, again, this is not in the reporting, that perhaps someone got angry at maneuvers that were, it could just be somebody's going too slow and they did what's called swatting or something, a form of it. Let me call the police and get these people in trouble and handled here. I don't know, but this is bizarre. It's very dangerous. Anytime there's an interaction with Black and brown people and the police, we're at risk. What are your observations?
Yeah, I mean, like, you can hear the trauma in their voices, right? These people are going to remember this incident for the rest of their lives. This is going to affect the ways in which they live their lives, the ways in which they interact within their community. And it's just going to be a quick headline for us. It's just going to be a blip in the media. We're covering it here on this show, but it's not going to get a whole ton of press besides this. But tomorrow we'll probably have another story just like it to cover on this show, and we'll move on from this one. But the people involved in this, they will never be over this incident. They'll never get over this. They'll live in fear of something like this happening again. They're going to have incredible distrust of law enforcement if they didn't already. They will feel helpless, as if there's no one of with any kind of like competence or empathy on their side. And really, they don't seem to have anyone with any kind of competence or empathy on their side. And that's exactly what the people who perpetuate incidents like this, and I'm including the cops in this, want certain groups of people, certain people with certain backgrounds to feel. They want certain groups of people to feel unsafe and unwelcome in their communities. They're not very smart. I don't know what they want or expect to happen. I doubt that they've really thought deeply about their own, whether it's racism or any other kind of prejudice. I doubt that they've thought about the realities of the world that they think they want to live in. But one thing I will say is I love how this girl said to the cops, this is why people don't like y'all. This is why people think that you're incompetent. This is why people don't respect you guys, because you do things like this. How are you going to act like this and still expect to command respect from people? You're not going to. The people are going to say something and they don't like you.
I'm with Mrs. Robinson in this regard, because more has to be known here, including about the caller.
Yeah.
This is not over. And of course, we'll continue to follow it. It's not over. But I agree with you. There are people in this country, if they were allowed to learn anything about Jim Crow and show me your papers, your ex-slave papers, they'll say, that's a long time ago, Sharon. But you need to understand something, or at least try to, that for many Black and brown people, others, it's how you make us feel. It's what else you're doing, just because it's not on the books anymore. And in some cases, we could argue about that.
And something like Jim Crow too, it wasn't that long ago, right? It was just like maybe 1 or 2 generations ago. And even that there's things operate cyclically, right? We talk about World War II and the Nazis and things like that. We say that was so long ago, but it's back, right? Because 100 years really isn't enough time for something to really go away. Even if something does go away, human nature is such that things will rise back up again, right? It'll enter human thought again, and they're going to get support for this ideology. And at the time, it will feel fresh. It will feel like, oh, this person's really saying something that has never been said before. But it has been said before. None of us are original in our thoughts, in our actions. No one is an original. Someone before us has done it, thought it, said it before, right? Everything we do is cyclical. These patterns repeat. All you can hope is that whenever the pattern does begin to repeat, that you call it out and prevent the absolute worst from happening, because you can learn from history. But as we're seeing right now, it's very difficult when you do call something out for anyone to actually take it seriously. So even like, not to get too off topic, but you have this whole thing with Elon Musk making a
Thank you.
gesture.
I was just thinking about him.
We're just having this conversation about whether or not he did a thing or not, right? We can't even get to the point of, okay, what do we do now that it has happened? We can't even get to that conversation because we're still debating whether or not he did what he obviously did, you know? So it's very backwards. It's very, and this is like a problem that happens in civilized societies too, because we're so intellectually minded, we're so advanced in our thinking and in our operations that, oh, we have to do our due diligence. We have to have these hard conversations first because, we have to flex our intellectual muscles. We're not even the smartest country in the world, right? Like we know that. We're not even that smart. So what are we doing? Why are we talking? Other countries have stamped out other things at the mere mention of it. And we are just letting things escalate and perpetuate in this country that really shouldn't have any kind of soil to do so. We shouldn't be letting these things grow in our country.
Well, you may hate me for it. We're going to go to break, but in the break, I'm going to try to find 2 phone numbers for you because I'd like you to reach out to 2 people. Elon Musk, if you could tell him he's not original. And if you could tell the current occupant of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue that you're not the smartest person in the room, the country,
I'll let
the
him
world. Know. Okay. I'm going to get those numbers for you. Dial *67 first to block your number. I think I worry.
That's old school. Yeah.
That's old school. Yeah. I'm sure there's other ways to do it. You see how old I am? I date myself. I need my sister.
I got the reference. So
that's right.